Hello everyone, good evening to all. Just confirm me once in the chat box that my voice is audible and this PDF file is visible to you so that we can start our discussion on YouTube as well as on the Zoom platform. Thank you for your confirmation and thank you for joining our live webinar on this very specific, very unique, very important topic. Okay, there is requirement of having the knowledge of GST, having the knowledge of law, but the point is that how we can boost our practices, what are the things which is required to boost our practices, क्या वो चीज है जो मेरे पास में होनी चाहिए, जिसका नॉलेज मुझे होना चाहिए. That is what is the very important thing, because in current scenario we all know that the complete practice is in competition world, and we all should have certain specific things to boost our practices, to transform our practices, to retain the clients, to capture the new clients, and to provide the best services to our client. And with that objective, we have designed this specific webinar on a very specific topic, that is techniques to boost your GST practices. Okay, on all the 5 days we have webinar on different topics. Okay, tomorrow we have also one free webinar. So from 13th till 17th we have webinar on each and every day, but for joining the webinar there is requirement to register for the webinar. Okay, so you may share this information with other professional groups, your professional friends, so that we can create a great world of knowledge. Okay, so that is what is the main logic, main perspective of this webinar. So before moving ahead, I just want to share with you one to two important things. First thing, sir, this is a very unique topic. Okay, we are not going to learn any provision of law, we are not supposed to learn any section or any other specific practical mechanism. Okay, today we'll discuss that, sir, how we can boost our practices. And when I am using the word boost our practices, it includes boost your revenue. Okay, so this is a very important topic for all of us. So we'll just give very important focus to this specific topic. Okay, so I just want that this session should be interactive, this webinar should be interactive. If you have any question, then please put the same in the chat box. We'll definitely provide the response immediately. And also, this is my request to you, I will also ask you certain things, so you just need to put the reply in the chat box, because the most important thing here, we are not going to learn any provision, or I am not here for any deliberation or to explain a particular section or provision of law. We all are here for a healthy discussion, how we can boost our practices, how we can enhance our knowledge, how we can retain the client, how we can capture the new client, what are the things which we need to keep in our mind while doing the GST practices. All these things we are covering. The most important point is that, and the logic behind this specific webinar is that in current scenario we are focusing on learning, we are also focusing on filing the return, handling the compliances, all those things. But the point is that we are not focusing to transform our practices. That is what is the issue. Hence, we have selected this specific topic for our discussion. Okay. So first thing, the session should be interactive. Second, if possible, share this information with as much as professionals. जितने ज्यादा लोगों से हम लोग जुड़ पाए, that is what is the great thing. Okay. The third thing, sir, any question, any query, welcome. Put the same in the chat box. Okay. So let's start our discussion on this extremely important topic. Okay. Now, first thing, working areas under GST. Sir, what are the working areas under GST? And sir, I will not take your much more time. For this webinar, I just require 30 minutes. Okay. So I will conclude this session in next 30 minutes. I just want your support for next 30 minutes. Be there, be focused. कोई बर्डन लेने की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, एकदम फ्री होकर के बैठ जाओ. आज बस सचिन को सुनना है 20-25 मिनट के लिए. एंड आई एंश्योर यू दैट दीज 20 to 25 minutes will be very much important and very much relevant for you. Okay, on all these 5 days we'll cover the important crux and concept in 30 to 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, so now the point is that working areas under GST. So now we all are doing GST registration. If someone is coming to us and saying that, sir, I want to take the GST registration, then we are ready to apply for the GST registrations, and we are maintaining the licensing with the departmental authorities, and we are providing the registration facilities. GST return filing, this is also a very big task. GSTR1, GSTR3B, various ITC related form, in case of composition, CMP 08 and all those forms. But my question is that, sir, everyone is filing the return, but how many are filing the perfect return? How many are the filing the return as per the provision of law? While filing the return, whether we are considering the provision of value, time, place of supply, whether we are considering the provision of section number 7 supply, whether we are focusing on a very specific and important things related to the litigations, this is the biggest question. We are filing the return merely based on the data provided by the client. Our client is generating the returns from the accounting software, sending the data to us, and we are filing the return. But the question is that whether we are checking that return from these provision perspective. Okay, अभी मैं transform की बात ही नहीं कर रहा हूं. Now I'm just covering the point that these are the areas under GST. Areas are very limited, but scope are unlimited. That is what is the point which we need to keep in our mind. Okay, अगर मैं मेरी ही बात करूं, I am only dealing in the GST litigations. I am only dealing in the GST litigations. So this is a one area on which I am working. Okay, now GST annual closing, that is GSTR 9 and 9C, which we are filing based on the compiled data. Now the point is that while filing that GSTR 9 and 9C, we just need to take the consolidated data from the client and we just need to put it in the return. No any rocket science is there. But the point is that while filing the 9 and 9C return, whether we are considering the provision of law, the analytical aspects, the various decisions which has been provided or pronounced by the High Court, Supreme Court, while considering the input tax credit, while considering the various reversals as per the various rules. And the last area is your GST litigation handling. If any notice has been issued by the departmental authority, then how we can handle that notice, how we can handle the departmental audit, how we can handle the investigation, inspection, search by the departmental authority. And for handling that investigation, inspection, search, business audit, departmental audit, scrutiny, assessment, there is requirement of expert knowledge of GST law. And this is also a very good area of practice. So probably in GST, we have four work, we can say. First, registration, second, return filing, third one is my annual return filing, and fourth one is my GST litigation handling. But sir, one most important area and one very specific revenue generating area is your GST implementation. Sir, I am just going to share with you certain very important things through this particular webinar. Just open your eyes. Okay, so GST implementation. Sir, what do you mean by this GST implementation? Sir, if there will be a particular industry, and in that industry, if an industry is going to launch a new product, then the first requirement is that to check the taxation effect. What will be the rate of GST? What will be the time of supply in case of supply of that particular goods or services? What will be the value in case of different aspects? If there will be a new setup, in that case also GST implementation plays a very important role. But we are doing merely filing the returns, the data send it by the client, we are putting it in our software and filing the return. Sir, as a professional, this is not my responsibility. This is the responsibility of the clerical staff. I will do the work of implementation. How the GST will affect different segment of an industry. If there will be any change in rate of taxes of a particular product, then what will be the time of supply when the GST will be payable? How the rate will be determined according to the provisions. That is what is type of consultancy includes in this GST implementation. And as we all know that the consultancy is a major revenue generating area. So this session is to transform your practices with respect to your revenue as well. So हम लोग यहाँ पर दोनों चीजें कवर कर रहे हैं. how you can transform your practices, and second, how you can boost your vitamin M, that is money. Okay, because when we'll provide the services, best services to our client, then definitely we'll get a very good remuneration. As we all know that now the complete industry is based on various technical tools. Okay, whether it will be related to your reconciliation. Now also government has introduced this invoice management system, IMS. If you have developed any specific technical tool, and that tool can reconcile the input tax credit, that you can easily market. But for that purpose, you have the idea about the technical aspect, technical knowledge of the tools, and you also need to appoint someone who is expert in this specific field. So now point is that I just want to convey this fact that, sir, merely GST registration, return filing and annual closing is not the focus area in GST. We have major area, that is litigation, that is GST implementation in case of any new provision, in case of any new setup, in case of any new product introduction. At that time, we should provide the consultancy to the industry. GST implementation, this is the major area for working in the field of GST. Design the tool, provide it to your client so that your client can maintain the compliances very easily. We'll also discuss certain technical tools with you, but for doing all these type of things, whether the registration in a perfect way, because the point is that मैं आपको थोड़ी सी चीजें बताना चाहता हूं. When we are filing the registration application, we are merely taking the documents from the client and we are putting it on the GST and common portal. Okay, 60 to 70% professionals are doing the same thing. We just need to verify what will be the date of commencement of business, what will be the date of liability, what will be the specific area, what will be the jurisdiction, how we need to apply for the GST registration as per the provision of law. That is also a very important thing. When we are filing the GST or one return GST or 3B return, we should focus that how we need to report the outward supply, the export, the nil rated non-GST exempted, or we should check that our client is saying that on this specific product the rate of GST is applicable at the rate of 12%, then our client is doing the same thing or not. As per the nature of industry of our client, whether the proper return has been filed by us or not, whether the data which has been generated from the accounting software of the client, the data generated is perfect or not. If you will do all these things, if you will focus on all these things, then definitely you can transform your practices to a next level, because we'll provide our best services to our client. And one most important thing, all these things will not require much more effort. You just need to give some extra time. You can easily do all these things. Now, sir, for doing all these things perfectly, what are the important things which is required? What are the important things which is required? So for handling the GST litigations, for handling the GST implementation, for development of the technical tools for the effective filing of GST returns, effective handling of GST compliances, there is requirement first, GST law, knowledge of GST law. And the knowledge of GST law should be based on conceptual knowledge. Merely the idea of the section is not sufficient. Section number 7, that is supply, I have idea. Section number 8, that is composite and mixed supply. Section number 9 is charging section under GST. But the point is that I should have, or the one should have, the idea of the provision with concept. That why there is requirement of this specific section, so that we can practically implement that provision while handling the GST practices. That is what is the point which we need to keep in our mind. Because, sir, there is no requirement to pass any exam for us. I am going to learn the GST law, but there is no requirement for me to pass any examination. Why I am learning the GST law? To boost my practices, to transform my practices, to provide the effective services to my client, to file the perfect return, to manage the compliances in an effective way. So the point is that for doing all these things, For doing all these things, I just need to require the knowledge of provision of law, and the knowledge is required with conceptual aspect. Okay, that means I should have the idea why there is requirement of this section number 7, section number 8, section number 15, section number 12, section number 25, section number 54. Why there is requirement of these sections? When the word why will include, then I will get the logical idea of each and every provision. That is what is the first thing which is required to transform your practices. Now, the point is that everyone wants that I should have a very large scale of clients. I should have a maximum number of clients. I should capture the complete market. But no one is making the efforts to learn the law with logics. But once when you will learn the law with logic, then definitely you will gain the insightful knowledge and you will get a maximum number of clients. Second, practical aspect. When I am learning a specific section, when I'm learning a specific provision of law, then there is requirement I should learn with the practical concept that what will be the effect of section number 7. If a particular transaction is a supply, agar koi transaction supply ho jayega, then what will be the effect on the taxability? This is the valuation rule for this specific type of value. So when this specific provision will be applicable in the practical scenario, because basically or finally I just need to file the return of my client. I just need to provide the consultancy services to my client, and for that purpose sorry, I should have the knowledge of practical aspect, technical aspect. Sir, whenever there will be any notice from the departmental authority, whether it is scrutiny related, audit related, I just want to share with you one example, that suppose I am filing a return of my client. Okay, एक बार क्या हुआ, डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी हैज इश्यूड वन नोटिस रिलेटेड टू द स्क्रूटनी, एंड इफ I am not able, as a tax professional, I am not able to provide the response of that notice to the departmental authority in a well manner, in that case मेरा client मुझे छोड़ देगा. My client will take back that complete work from me, because the faith is a very specific thing. और एक बार किसी का विश्वास चला जाता है, close. This is the effect of services. I just want to convey the specific thing. So the point is that whenever there will be any litigation, whether related to scrutiny, whether related to audit, whether related to assessment, whether related to search, inspection, I just need to have the technical idea of the provision of law, that for this section number 7, that is supply, what will be the technical effect of that section? What will be the technical effect of each and every section? कैसे कोई activity or transaction will define the term? If the departmental authority has raised one para on a specific aspect, then how I can cross that para? That will be depend on my technical knowledge, analytical aspect. Sir, merely reading of the provision of law, merely learning the provision of law, merely knowing the practical aspect of the provision law is not sufficient. I just need to have the analytical aspect, because in case of litigation, एक ही सेक्शन के 3 से 4 अर्थ हो सकते हैं. There may be chances of 3 to 4 meanings of a specific provision. It will be based on my analytical aspect, that how I can analyze that provision of law and save my client, provide the response in front of the departmental authority. It will also be based on my presentation skills. So I just need to develop these type of skills. Sir, through this particular webinar, I just want to give you idea that these are the things which is required to boost your practices, to transform your practices. Because अब वो 90s और 2000 वाला time नहीं चल रहा है कि merely filing the return is sufficient. This is the time of idea. So when we are focusing on the idea, and the nature of industry is also completely changing, the scenario is also completely changing. There are a lot of complex things are there. So to provide the consultancy to my client in a perfect way, there is a requirement of the analytical knowledge of the provision of law, that how I can analyze the provision of law in case of any difficult situation. how I can interpret the provision of law, and for that purpose there is requirement to learn a lot of case studies. Okay, I will also share with you certain tips that how you can develop your practical aspect, your technical aspect, your analytical aspect, and boost your knowledge in the field of this GST. If you will check the YouTube, okay, and you just need to write how to file GSTR1 return, you will found thousands of videos. How to file GSTR3B, you will found thousands of videos. But the point is that you will only get the idea that how to put the figures in the returns, how to put the perfect figures in the return. Try to find out it on YouTube. You will not get a single video. And as a professional, this is our responsibility to have the idea of each and every practical and analytic aspect with the provision of law. Only when I will be in a situation to boost my practices, to boost my knowledge. And the most important thing, that is updated, because we all know that there will be a changes, huge changes in the GST on daily basis. So we should have the idea of each and every changes. We should be updated with each and every changes. And whenever there will be a change, we just need to check the complete effect on the change on the provision of law, so that I can use it while filing the return, while handling the GST compliances. Because, sir, most important thing, when we are filing the returns, at the time of any litigation, at the time of any notice by the departmental authority, your client will directly say to you, Mr. Sachin, you have filed the return. Why this notice is there? Why this demand is there? And at that time, if I will not be in situation to provide the response, in that case, mera client gaya. This is the fact. So, sir, these are the 5 most important aspects which is required to boost your practices, to transform your practices. One is your conceptual knowledge, practical aspect, technical aspect, analytical aspect, and various changes. Now, just think what we are doing additional for our client. Sir, एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है. Whenever we are going to any, whenever we are going for any shopping, एट दैट टाइम अगर कोई टी शर्ट के साथ में कोई एक छोटी सी चीज भी गिफ्ट में हमको देता है, बाय वन गेट वन फ्री, इन दैट केस वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट. The same thing will be applicable in case of service sector industry, because now the competition is very huge. So what we are providing additional to our client, because others are also filing the returns, others are also handling the compliances, others are also filing the annual return and the other things, others are also providing the consultancy. What Mr. Sachin is providing the extra, that is what is the important question. So the point is that you can do certain work for this specific question. You can provide additional services to your client. You can decide one exit meeting to your client while filing the annual return about the nature of industry. You can provide consultancy related to the growth model. You can provide consultancy related to the different products and different aspect. You can provide updates to your client. So these are the things we should do for our client. In my offices, we are doing monthly meeting with our client, and we are going to provide the updates to our client about the changes in the industry, about the changes in the knowledge, about the changes in the GST law in a very simplified way. So this is an additional gift from our side to our client. While providing the consultancy, we are covering each and every aspect. The biggest problem is that, sir, 40 to 50% professionals have no idea about the exact nature of the industry of our client. आप भी कमेंट कर सकते हैं चैट बॉक्स में, दिस इज द सिनेरियो. So we just need to work on these specific aspect as well. Now, sir, the toughest question is that how to capture new client. On this specific subject, I am also taking certain physical sessions, okay, physical seminars, okay, and that session will be around 4 to 5 hours. We have just 30 to 40 minutes, okay. and I'm taking the session for 4 to 5 hours. Okay. The biggest question is that how to capture new client. Participant are asking for this specific question. I suppose this is the most relevant question for all of us. Sir, there will be two sources for capturing the client. First one, that client is a new client, that client is going to set up the industry, वो आपके पास में आया. Second type of client is that client were taking the services of some other professionals. Now the client is not satisfied with the services of the chartered accountant or the professional, so that person wants to transfer the work to us. There may be two scenario of the new client. Now the point is that the capturing of client will be completely based on your knowledge. Whenever a particular new client will come to you and you will provide the excellent services, you will provide the excellent idea about the specific thing related to the practical implication of the provisions, if you will provide the implementation related services, if you will handle the litigation in a perfect way, in that case client will be yours. The point is that if there will be any notice in the hand of your client and client is coming to you, and if you resolve that particular issue, that client will be yours. But the point is that for that there is requirement to have the excellent idea of the provision of law, analytical, technical, conceptual aspect. The second thing, how to retain the existing client, because this is also a very important thing. If there will be a single issue and your client is, so for that purpose also the same requirement is there. You just need to satisfy your client. You just need to manage certain meetings with your client, provide the updates to your client related to the practical industry oriented. कई बार होता क्या है, we are providing the updates to our client, but we are just going to provide it as it is. Don't do this thing, because your client have no idea about the technical aspect and the other things. You just need to analyze that particular change or the update, and you just need to analyze the effect of that update on your client industry, and then after provide the update in a very simplified language. That is what is the way to retain your client. Once do it, this is a very important tool. If there will be any change, just record one video or type one message in your simplified language that this will be the effect of this particular provision on your industry, so you should be careful and you should manage these compliances. Definitely this will create one impact on your client's mind, and your client will be there for you. Sir, are you enjoying the session? Just confirm me once in the chat box. These things are relevant for us. Are you getting the points what I am saying? I am just expecting a reply from each and everyone. I suppose these are the things which we should have, and we should follow these mechanism. And मैं इसलिए नहीं बोल रहा हूं कि ये मैंने कहीं से पढ़ा है. I am following these things in my practice. Okay. And the purpose of these webinar is to provide the expert idea about the things, how you can transform your practices. And the most important line is there: change yourself, else time will change you. If we are not ready to change ourselves, if we are not ready to adopt the technology, then time will automatically change us. Okay. Now if we are thinking, and if we are thinking that we should file the return manually and we should handle the compliances manually, not possible. और अगर अब मैं सोचूं कि मुझे जो जीएसटी लॉ है वो पुराने तरीके से पढ़ना है, आई जस्ट नीड टू लर्न द जीएसटी लॉ विद द ओल्ड कॉन्सेप्ट्स, देन दिस विल नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल, बिकॉज इंडस्ट्री का सिनेरियो कंप्लीटली चेंज हो चुका है. द सिनेरियो ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री हैज कंप्लीटली चेंज्ड. सो व्हेन वी आर लर्निंग द प्रोविजन ऑफ लॉ, वी जस्ट नीड टू लर्न with the changing industry. Update the knowledge of your client, do something unique. Whenever you are providing any update to your client, at that time you just need to provide the update in a very simplified language, and you just need to ensure that your update will cover the effect of that provision on the industry of your client. Make yourself expert in GST, gain the insightful knowledge. Don't focus on filing the returns. This is my request to you. Focus to file the return in an effective way, because sir, I am also a special auditor. Okay. So the point is that whenever there will be audit, and when the departmental authorities are checking the returns of the taxpayers, they are finding multiple errors. The tax professional has calculated the wrong amount of reversal as per rule number 4243. The tax professional has claimed the input tax credit wrongly, ineligible input tax credit. The tax professional is not able to provide the reply in case of section 17 subsection 5 blocked credit. The taxpayer has not filed the ITC 01020304 in the specific situation, specific scenarios. The tax professional has wrongly claimed the input tax credit in the first 30 days of taking the registration. So multiple scenarios, multiple issues are there. And at the time of litigation, your client will be not there. So the point is that we should have the expert idea of the provision of law, and each and every section should be on your tips. Because whenever you will go for any appeal hearing or for audit hearing, departmental authority will ask you something related to that particular industry. And if you have the idea about the provision of law, if you have the idea of each and every section, in that case, you can provide the response based on the sections. And your first impression will be your last impression. In case of litigation, our presentation skills matter. That is what is the point which we need to keep in our mind. Sir, in case of appeal, if we are filing any response or if we are drafting any appeal, in that case, if we'll merely take the simplified language, if will not provide any technical or analytical aspect with that particular drafting, in that case, there will be no any effect of our appeal. Because our base reply, whether you are giving that reply to the scrutiny of notice, whether you are giving that reply to your audit, whether you are giving that reply to assessment or the appeal procedure, that reply will be the first base, and your base should be strong. And that base will be very much helpful in front of High Court, Supreme Court as well. So whenever draft a particular reply, draft with section, with practical implication, with case studies for the analytical aspect, and provide the technical aspect of that particular provision, and cross the argument of the departmental authority, so that your reply will be in a perfect way. That is what is the thing which is required to boost your practices, to transform your practices. Don't follow the old mechanism. Now we just need to follow certain important aspect related to the GST law. We just need to learn the GST law in a practical way, in an analytical way, so that we can capture a new client and we can retain the client, do something unique for our client, provide certain updates to our client, use the social media. So these are the things we just need to focus. Okay, अभी हमने बात की. I just want to take 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. And this is the most important update from my side to you, because we are on a mission. Okay, हम लोगों के पास एक मिशन है. We just want that everyone in the field of this GST should be very much expert in the GST field. Okay, so this information is very much relevant for each and everyone. This is not an advertisement. This is just a information from my side to all of you. So just watch this video for more 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so हमने बात की for the GST, for the expertise in the GST, there is requirement of conceptual knowledge, practical aspect, technical aspect, analytical aspect, and the changes. Including all those things, covering all those things, we are coming with a live course. Okay, and this live course is completely a guaranteed course. Okay, the point is that in this particular course, we'll cover the complete GST law, each and every section with conceptual aspect. With that, we'll provide you the memory techniques. That means each and every section will be on your tips. We'll cover each and every provision with the practical aspect, technical aspect, and we'll cover around 250 case studies for your analytical aspect and will cover around 500 different practical scenarios, practical questions for your practical knowledge. And this course is completely guaranteed course. If you will not satisfied, will refund you the whole amount. Now, one point is that certain participants has doubt that sir agar hum is course se satisfied nahi hue, how will get the refund? So for that purpose we have 7 days demo. This course will be start from 18th of November. Okay, and if anyone wants to join, then you just need to text on this number. Okay, and for joining the course for first 7 days, you just need to deposit a pre-deposit amount 1499. Okay, the course fees is 10,000 rupees, but for joining the 7 days demo, you just need to deposit 1499. And if you will not satisfy after joining the 7 days, will refund you that 1499 amount in your bank account. Okay, after joining that 7 days, okay, if you want to pay the amount in installment, abhi bhi aapko koi doubt hai, in that case you just need to pay the 50% of the course fee. Join this course for 25 days, will send the study material with this course in the price of 10,000 rupees, will provide you 3 books worth rupees 4,000. Okay, so after joining this course for 25 days, if you will not satisfied with the content, will refund the amount. Okay, and after 25 days, deposit the remaining fees if you will satisfied. And after joining the complete course, the duration of this course is 45 days. If you will not satisfied, after 45 days will refund the amount. This is a certificate course. You will also get the certificate at the end of this course. You will we have one examination, and this course will be completely based on practical approach with analytical skills, with technical aspect. Each and every section of CGST Act and IGST Act will be covered in a very unique way. And through this course, there is no any logic to make any money or to gain any profit. इसीलिए हम लोग guarantee दे रहे हैं that this is a guaranteed course. In the logic of this course is to provide the excellent idea of the GST law to each and everyone. That is what is the logic. Okay, so if anyone wants to join, for browser, you just need to text on this number. My team will share with you the browser. If you want to check the browser, then I just want to share the same. This is the brochure of this course. In this course will provide you 3 books. One is based on law, second one is case study, and third one is Q&A. Okay, so you just need to text on this number. My team will provide you the brochure and complete details. And if you want to join the first 7 days, you just need to make the payment of 1499. But this facility is available till 8:30 today, 8:30 p.m. If you want to enroll, you just need to pay the amount. GPay, Google Pay facility is available by 8:30 p.m. Every detail, the complete details will be shared on your WhatsApp number. You just need to text on this number. And this is my personal request to you. Just join once and feel the difference and learn the GST law. At the end, I just want your valuable feedback about our today's webinar in the chat box. Sir, I just request everyone to provide your valuable feedback about the today's webinar in the chat box. And also, if you have any question, any query related to GST, feel free to connect with me. Okay, you can check our YouTube channel. You can connect with me over this number 8072-8808. Okay, you can connect on this number very easily. So at the end, I just request everyone to provide your valuable feedback in the chat box. And also, I again request, if possible, join this course. This will be really so. Connect on this number. Just text me on this number. Yes, Abhishek has given me idea about your request, and will definitely will connect you by tomorrow morning. Padmini ji will definitely connect with you by tomorrow morning. And if anyone wants to gain the complete idea of GST law, practical, technical, analytical, then just text on this number and you will get everything related to GST, and this is a guaranteed course. मैं आपको बोल रहा हूं, अगर आप सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो, जस्ट आपको एक टेक्स्ट करना है, किसी फॉर्म को फिल करने की जरूरत नहीं है, इस नंबर पे आपको टेक्स्ट करना है, आई एम नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद द कंटेंट, आई वांट माय रिफंड बैक, कंपनी विल पे यू द अमाउंट। ये गारंटी इसलिए बिकॉज वी हैव ऑलरेडी successfully completed our first batch, and that batch was also a guaranteed course, but we have not received a single request for the refund. All the participants has completely satisfied. So I just request, to boost your GST knowledge, just join this course once, okay, and you will get everything, and the complete recording will also be provided. This is a live course, you will get the complete recordings as well, and which will be valid for next 1 year with complete support. If you have any query related to GST, will solve in this amount, okay. So yes, if anyone wants to join, then just text on the number which we have already shared. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for listening with us. Tomorrow also we have one specific webinar on subject analysis of financial statement from revenue leakage perspective. But this webinar is specifically designed for the GST officers, GST authorities. But if you want to join, you can also join. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye. We'll meet you soon. Thank you.